Hello, my brothers and sisters. Did you know that the Old Testament scriptures tell us that certain types of seafood is forbidden? Now, do those laws still apply to us today? Well, let's study the Word of God and see what it says in Leviticus chapter 11, verses 11 and 12, but also in Deuteronomy chapter 14, verses 9 and 10, which both say exactly the same thing. Whatever in the water that does not have fins and scales is abhorrent to you. You may not eat of their flesh, and their carcasses you shall detest. These laws were designed to distinguish between clean and unclean animals that the Israelites were permitted or prohibited from eating. Now, some examples of seafood that the Israelites were allowed to eat were salmon, tuna, and cod, but the scriptures also prohibited the Israelites from eating shellfish. Now, these include shrimp, crabs, lobsters, and also squid and octopus as well. But it's very important to note that these specific laws were only meant to be followed by the Israelites, and they were part of their ceremonial and religious practices. These laws were written in the Old Testament scriptures, but when Jesus came down from heaven in human form, he made these laws completely insignificant. See, Jesus himself said in the book of Mark, chapter 7, verses 18 and 19, "Do you not understand that whatever goes into a man from the outside cannot defile him, because it does not go into his heart, but into his stomach and is eliminated?" This statement from Jesus clearly shows us that dietary restrictions are no longer applicable to Christians, including those relating to seafood and pork. Now, there are believers that still refuse to eat shellfish, pork, and other foods because they still believe the law applies to them. But it's totally up to them if they want to continue following those old laws. See, the Word of God commands us not to judge these people. The book of Romans chapter 14, verses 2 and 3, it clearly tells us one person has faith that he may eat all things, but he who is weak eats only vegetables. The one who eats is not to regard with contempt the one who does not eat, and the one who does not eat is not to judge the one who eats, for God has accepted him. So even though the Word of God has many laws and commandments, there are a lot of them that do not actually apply to us. And that is why it is vitally important for us to continue to study the Word of God and the Holy Scriptures, so our understanding of God and His divine Word can continue to increase. God bless you all, my friends, and I pray that Lord continues to keep you hungry for His Word and in His divine presence always. Goodbye and take care of yourselves. Cheers.